Well, I'm finally getting a little bit used to this, I have to say. Uh, it's surprisingly fun uh, to actually go through my memories and also think a little bit more about the reasons why I made some particular choices. Um, in terms of improving my English, I actually get to search and listen to the correct pronunciation of words that I wouldn't even think about outside of making these videos. So that's fine. Uh, Another part of this is the fact that I get to listen to me. I've mentioned that before, and how novel that is for me. Um, I've been looking up words, obviously, for both these videos and for my own writing, because even though I know the word, I experienced um, the word in either literature or um, other forms of content, but my mind just is unable to uh, send it to me on demand. So I get to situations when I need to search a very commonly used word just because it's somewhere deep down there and it's not ready for use. Uh, on the other hand, the more I delve into English, the more often it happens that I know the word in English, but I can't remember it in my own native language, which creates some funny situation. Fortunately, most people I interact with daily are versed to some degree in English, although in my country English is on a terrible level. I think I've already mentioned this. Uh, but yeah, the small introduction to what I think is my progress uh, with my goal and the reason why I've ever made these. Hopefully it will continue. Hopefully I'll be able to reach my goal. I'd like to get my certificates done, and now I have some more a bit generic uh, themes that I'd like to talk about before I go back to Neverwinter and hopefully finish the chapter 2 today. And it would be my stance on spoilers, uh, namely how to reach certain endings if a game has some, and in general, uh, the reason why I'm fine with spoiling myself, and it's a little bit tied to the conversation I had before in one of these videos about me mostly playing, well, pretty much only playing the good guys in the games. So, um, if a game has different endings based on choices you make throughout the game, I would feel terrible if I reached the end and based on my stupid choices, I would encounter an ending that would make me feel bad. So I have no problem, even if it's a new game I've never played before, to look up a walkthrough and just blindly, not just blindly follow would be probably wrong, but pick the choices that I would not be able to if I just played the game by myself because I wouldn't know the consequences, and that would irk me quite a lot. So to make me happy to play the game the way I would enjoy it, I very much welcome uh, spoilers and any form of walkthrough, and the sites that provide these are in quite high regard for me. I'm very thankful for them because without them I would not be able to enjoy games in this way. Because as I said, I mostly play single player RPGs, the longer the better. And it took me 300 hours to finish Witcher 3 and get an ending that I hated. It would be quite dissatisfactory, I would say is the correct word for this. And well, now I think it's time to delve in a little bit into Neverwinter. So we are in the North Road. We get some small quests, saving a wife, killing a bad guy, and getting ambushed by a bad guy, and big lead to the cult's location, which Arbet needs. I think I mentioned this, but you get to talk to Arbet a bit deeper, get to know her a bit more every time you submit one of these important clues. So this is one of the places where you get one. You get to clean some mines, some caves, and then you get to continue towards the Green Griffin Inn, which is quite a big place for the lore of Neverwinter. Here you get to finish one of your quests that you received in the port last. The kidnapped boys, well, not kidnapped, they were a bit fooled into following a knight to subdue a werewolf, and it did not go really well. So you get to save them. Then there are some other small places that you can finish for small loot, and then there is the inn itself. You can take on a challenge of the owner of the inn, which is basically a dungeon crawl. You get some loot, some experience, some tidbits of lore, and quest items for your followers. Then there is another part of the quest that you've received in Port Last, which is hunting for the gems. You need to basically fool its previous owner into giving it to you, and then there is also the entrance to the city where you'll be hunting for the cult. When you get a bit more info on the cult and its actual true location, and there is a little bit of graveyard hunting, tomb raiding, where you get some more nice items, and then you can continue towards the south road. Here, again, some caves, some enemies, and then there is the 1F's tower. Again, some loot, some information, nothing too serious. Farmlands is next. And there, small quests, escape prisoners, farmers, you can help them, you can kill some wolves, or you can actually, if you are able to talk to animals, you can make the wolves go elsewhere, which I find quite considered by the developers. Find it interesting. Here also is the woman you were supposed to save. You got that quest in the Green Griffin Inn. It turns out they were cultists, so you get to kill them, get some additional information about the cult, deliver it to Lady Erbeth, and you continue to the tower. There you can get some gems needed for your quest, some henchman items, and you get to confront the wizard himself. You don't even have to kill him, he'll surrender. Next, there is the cave of Mekel. You'll get to see his ghost, talk to him a little bit. This is mostly just a side quest, nothing serious, just fluff. And once you are done here, it's Charwood Village. You need to find out who's behind the slaughter of the village. You get to explore the castle of its lord, find out that he summoned the demon, then you can get the demon's written oath that he was behind the slaughter. You get to experience a trial, and you also get to uncover finally the true location of the cultists, which is Luskan. And once you get all that done, finish the trial, save the village. Well, the village is actually already in ruins, but you still did a good deed. And once all that is done, you give Erbeth the last notes, and you continue to Luskan. In Luskan, you find out that Erbeth's gone rogue. She disappeared, and it's your task to find out where the cultists are and deal with them. You will need High Captain Seal, which you can get by either slaughtering or persuading your way through one of the captains that live in Luskan. And once you are through some side locations, and once you obtain your permission to enter the host tower, there is a very long dungeon for you. It's 10 floors. It's a wizard's tower that got taken under the occupation of a wizard called Mogrim. You can find a bit more about him during your exploration of the tower. His reasons for doing so, that he's searching for something called Words of Power. He wants to deliver them to his mistress. You can also find out why there is an army that's marching towards the north, which is the reason. These Words of Power. And then you get to find out a bit more about Erbeth, why she's in this tower. She got seduced by Mogrim into joining their side because of her grief. And there still might be a way to save her. Then you get to fight the former owner of the tower. Then you get to proceed. You see Lady Erbeth, Mogrim, and a being called Morak, who's their leader. You get to listen to their conversation. Unfortunately, you can't interfere in any way. And Lady Erbeth has become a fallen paladin, and she is going to lead an army, Morak's army, against Neverwinter. because of her revenge. Then you get some more information, and once you are done here, um, you get some journals, the cultists, and the purpose of all that's been happening so far, and then you return to the Temple of Tyr and you are done with the second chapter. So, well, I'm happy. That was a bit shorter, a lot shorter, but again, I can't really recall the details as well as I was able to in the first chapter. So I'd have to supplement my memory, and that's not the purpose of these videos. So that's about it.